It is an absolutely beautiful day. So we are going to, well, first we have to go to work. So we'll get that out of the way. But in assessing my drone stuff, going with my video the other day, I noticed that I exclusively fly these QAVRs, as you guys probably well know. And I was going through some of these motors that have been discontinued by Brother Hobby, and I'm going to refurby them and get them all back in working order. Let me get it in the shot here. But anyway, I'm assessing my gear, and I still have that analog quad. That quad there is like 2 years old. And then I have my main flying QAVRs over here that I always fly. And I have one more spare bottom here, but I'm down to one, I think just one or maybe two spare arms. But I have a plethora of the 6-inch arms, because this is the way I used to set my quads up before the firmware got so good. I would use 6-inch arms with a 5-inch setup because it made it a lot more stable, and I still like this setup. I've just been flying the 5-inch. But anyway, this is one I built. It's all fresh, new motors, everything, and I had put the Iflight, let's see here, it's in here somewhere. The Iflight Success all in one board that I wanted to check out, that you guys may remember from a few videos back. Because I want something that's super easy to set up and plug and play with DJI. Of course, the downside is if anything goes bad, then you lose the whole freaking board. But I built this quad and went to fly it, and it flew like crap. And I couldn't get it to hook to the phone app because we have the Betaflight phone app now. For some reason, these iFlight boards have been hit and miss for me hooking to the phone app. I don't know why. But anyway, we're going to get this thing reset up and see if we can get it tuned and get it to fly decent with this all-in-one board. Get it to hook to the phone app, whatever, because it is a fresh build. It's just a backup quad, but I'm not able to go to the States this year like I usually do and re-up on my QAVR stuff. I mean, I could order the arms online or whatever, but I mean, they usually hook me up when I go back to my hometown, because that is where Get FPV and Lumineer is. And that is my, that's my deal with the links in the description, like my discount code. I mainly do it for you guys. I don't make anything out of it. The only thing I really get is points towards like gear when I go home once a year. I go in there and then they hook however many people have used like my links or my discount code. They give me, you know, whatever I choose, which I usually just choose like frames and stuff like that, because that's what I use the most of, and that's the easiest for me to pack and bring back here. So I up myself on like frames for the year, and then they give me prototype gear to test out and crap like that. So let's get this baby into Betaflight, get some props on it, and see if we can get it to fly decent. If not, I'm dying to use this new setup I have here, which is the Talon F7 Fusion with this brand new freaking T-Motor Mini 55 amp ESC. I may even swap these motors out, because I backed up with some of these new Brother Hobby motors, the Avengers. And these 2207.5 V3, 2300 kV are supposed to be formulated, whatever you want to call it, made like specifically for a 5S setup with a 55 amp ESC. That is the recommended specs for those motors. So I'm interested to see how they are going to work with this here setup. But anyway, we're going to give this a shot and see if we can get this Success iFlight all-in-one board to work out, because it's super easy to set up. You just solder the motors on and hook up the dang DJI and you're good to go. Plugs right in. Anywho, first we got to go to work. So let's do that. right, so we made it to the shop. We have been very lucky this year that even with the pandemic thing going down, we have had plenty of work to keep us busy throughout the year. The year is almost over. It's hard to believe it's almost Chinese New Year again. Here is what is on the menu for today. This is a skeleton prototype monster truck car that we're getting ready to ship out to somebody that's going to put the custom skins and stuff on it, supposedly. It's for a very famous monster truck persons, company. So if you see a big old giant electric golf cart monster truck rolling around at the next monster truck rally, you know it came from me. So anyway, bang out some work, and then we'll get on with the day. Yep. Here's our shop mascot, little Mao. He showed up one day. He's got a hurt leg. Seems to be healing up okay. So we started feeding him, and he is now our shop kitty to keep the mice out of our stuff. I made him a little bed with the shirts to keep him warm. Good Mao. I'm being summoned to a meeting. It's all fine and good doing boss stuff. It's all fine and good till you have to do boss things. All right, so work is done. The guys are having lunch, so I'm gonna sneak out of here because it's a beautiful day. Uh-oh, one of them saw me over there. Let's go see if we can get this drone to fly while we got some sunshine. Shh. All right, so we are back at the bench. Let's get this thing going. Get her freaking bound up because it has been a while. I need to update the receiver. Hook it up back up in Betaflight, make sure everything's good to go, put some secret sauce in it that I hope will make it fly. Then I've learned a few more things about the newer Betaflight. And let's see if it will hook to the phone app, because I'm really curious about that. Because that's one of the reasons I stopped monkeying with that thing. It's because I took it out to the field. I don't want to bring my $2,000 laptop on my scooter with the dogs and all that stuff out to the freaking park. So it didn't hook to my phone app, and I already had my two main flyers going. That was just going to be the backup for when I crashed. So I stopped messing with it. But like I said, now that I realized I'm getting low on 5-inch arms and I got tons of 6-inch arms, I'm going to, yeah. Well, let's get the cord out and see if it'll hook to the phone app. Let's do that first. Okay, so it did hook to the phone app here on the bench. But as we all know, as soon as I get to the field, it's not going to work right. But hopefully it does. So let's see. Anyway, we're just going to get some props on it and walk downstairs right now and do a quick little line of flight and see if it even freaking floats. So let's do that first. Let's get some props on this bad boy. Glad to see it hooked to that phone app. Let's hope it still hooks to that in the field. We're going to get some, I don't need that right now. We are gonna go with some of these here. Oh no, we don't want the 4-blade. We want these. These are the what are they called? Maybe the R5s or something. Right? Let me see here. R42. These are the R42s. That's not what I want. That is not what I want. I want the lower pitched ones, I think. Wait. I want the R35. Yeah, 35s. There we go. I got these from Jung way back when they were prototypes. So there's no labeling on these. So I gotta make sure I'm grabbing the right ones. But these are fantastic on the 5S. Nice and smooth and spin up really nice. So, yeah, let's get these on there. All right, so what I'm gonna do for now is take one of these, excuse me, take one of these here, broken sessions. I have plenty of good ones over there. Don't stop making sessions mounts, you peoples, because I have plenty of sessions. I started hoarding them long ago when they started going out of style because I like them. So we're going to take one that's already broken. As you can see, that one is completely smashed. And just stick it in here for the weight balance while we go test this bad boy out. And I'm just going to walk downstairs in front of my building here and see if it will fly worth a crap at all. I don't like flying around my neighborhood because I get enough attention around here as it is. I get enough attention around here as it is, so I don't like to fly around here and attract any more attention. We'll go down there and do a quickie. It's midday because I skipped out of work. We'll go down there and do a quickie and make sure it's going to fly okay before we take it all the way to the park and start monkeying with it. So at least make sure it's somewhere in the ballpark of being able to fly. So let's do that. Yeah. Okay. So let's see if we can have any level of success with this thing at all. Didn't chop my hand off. That's a good sign. We'll just do a quick line of sight hover. See if it's okay. Step back here in case it freaks out.
Yeah, baby.
So far, so good. Yeah, something is not happy. You can see it twitching. So I don't know what's going on there. That ain't good. Let's see, let's check the motors and see if they're getting really hot. Not too bad, because I did shut some of the filtering down. Maybe I have to up the filtering back up. Shouldn't be twitching like that though. I don't know what that twitching is. Twitching is no good. Yeah, something's up. Of course, I didn't bring the phone cord down with me. I'm gonna go reset the filtering and see what happens.
Telemetry lost.
Okay, so I set it back to the default filtering.
Throttle warning.
So let's see what happens. I can tell you one thing. I'm not going to monkey with it too much before I yank that board out of there and just rebuild it. Like, I don't have to force it. I have other gear I can stick in here and just give up on that, think of something else to do with it, whatever. Give it away, something. We got some stupid nosy people over here staring at me. So let's see what happens now.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, that's good. Default filtering worked out for now. Let's check the motor temperature is good. We got some kid that just crashed on the sidewalk over there, so I'm gonna wait a second for them to clear the area. Taking forever. And then I'm gonna lower the goggles and just go for a little fly around here real quick and see what happens. Just over the grass right here. Nothing spectacular, just a few flips and rolls. Wait for this old man to walk by. Never a moment's freaking peace in this country. Okay, here we go. Just ride around this tulip, see if it freaks out or not.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, it's still not right. It's almost like it has a loose prop. But that twitching in my experience is usually a bad ESC. Something going on with the ESC. If it was a desync, it would probably just flip out of the air. So yeah, that's not good. So I'm probably just gonna have to freaking gut the gear out of here. Like I said, I am not gonna monkey with this thing forever and try to figure it out, because I don't have to. I'll just pull that board and put a new board in there. So the Iflight success is unsuccessful in my opinion. Maybe it's because of the 5S. I really don't know. That twitch though, that's a twitch like that isn't really gonna come out in firmware or pit adjustment. That twitch is usually a deeper rooted issue. Alright, so I'm not willing to chase that thing down a rabbit hole to figure out what is going on with that little twitch or whatever's going on there when I got perfectly good freaking kick-ass gear sitting right there that I can just stick in there. I did do black box log on that thing, so maybe I'll pull that board out of there and look at it later and try to figure out what's going on with it. But like I said, that twitch is usually something messed up. I don't know. I'm not willing to chase it down that rabbit hole for that twitch. That much I can tell you. So we are going to charge up some packs and take one of the old faithfuls out to the park and go for a rip, tater chip. Rightio, so here we are out in the field with this bad boy right here. And I'm telling you what, this is the best drone of this week. Good old Stu. Anyway, so we didn't have any success with the success. So we're gonna fly one of my good old go-tos. Well, it's actually not a good old go-to. This drone actually does have the Iflight mini stack in it. The F7 Twin G Mini. And it has been rock solid. Now, I'm going to tell you, I could probably monkey around forever with that all-in-one and get it working, but it just isn't worth it to me. For one thing, I'm on the fence about it being an all-in-one, because that already poses issues if something goes wrong, as we all know. I don't think, some other guys reported having problems on it with like 5 and 6S. I would say it's probably a good 4S setup. You know, it's quick, clean, and easy. But I'm looking for a setup that I don't have to tweak on forever. I flew, you guys, if you know, if you've been following, I flew the Brain Radix for like 18 months. And I absolutely love that board because I like having the same setup, the same gear. I know exactly where to solder everything. I can put all my settings in a freaking dump. And when I build a new quad, I just copy and paste, and all my, you know, rates and PIDs and modes and receiver and everything is already loaded in there. So that's what I'm looking for. The iFlight mini stack, Twin G Mini, has been awesome. So that is definitely on the board. And then I'm gonna go back to that quad and put the new T-motor ESC in there with that Talon and see if that works with the VTX on and off switch, and then I'm going to kind of decide on which setup to go to from here on out. The reason I still love the Radix, the Brain Radix Lee, but it's very difficult for me to get here. It's like $15 more than the Talon board for one thing, and I loved all the OSD features, like having the pilot thing on there, and you know, the altitude gauge was awesome for diving buildings because you could slide down the building backwards and watch the altitude gauge. You know, the spectrograph, all that stuff was fine to pay the extra 15 bucks for. I had no problem with that. But now that I'm flying the DJI, none of that stuff comes through on the freaking OSD, so I can't use any of it. So why pay the extra money? So I need to find my new good solid go-to setup. So for now, we are just gonna rip the old typical park AIO here with one of my tried and true setups. But we're gonna go fly in a different area of the park that I normally don't fly, way over there, because there's a bunch of freaking idiots over here in my normal session taking wedding photographs in scrungy freaking dog park. Anyway, let's give her a rip, tater chip. Yeah. And so there we have it. Another day in the life of FPV. My fan club. You see him over there?